He was one of the first to speak, telling CNN that he found the indictment to be an outrage and called it politically motivated and defended the president, despite the fact that we know that the relationship between Donald Trump and Mike Pence has been very strained, if not no relationship at all, since January 6th. Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, though, had a very interesting response. DeSantis is seen as President Trump's chief rival in the Republican primary, even though he hasn't officially jumped into the race. But Ron DeSantis lives in the state that, or is the governor of the state that Donald Trump lives in. So in the statement he called it the decision to indict politically motivated, and then said that he would not sign off on any extradition request, if Donald Trump were to be extradited from Florida to New York. Now, it likely will not come to that. Donald Trump is expected to surrender by next Tuesday to be arraigned next Tuesday in New York next week. But a lot of Republicans, particularly on the campaign trail, and House Republicans, very much coming to Donald Trump's defense. Senate Republicans, though, including Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, have taken more of a hands-off approach, haven't said much about this, and it sort of reflects their relationship with Donald Trump.
And Julia, what's your analysis on what impact this case might have on Donald Trump's campaign for the White House?
Yeah, it's a good question. Look, to start off with, Donald Trump can still run for president, even though he's been indicted, and he has signaled he is not willing to slow down, even sending out fundraising emails last night, using this piece of news to fundraise. So I think a lot of conventional wisdom would tell us that this could really rev up the GOP primary base, because we know that so many polls tell us Donald Trump has such a grip on the GOP primary base, and he is very popular within the primary. However, going into a general election against someone like a Joe Biden, I don't really see how this helps him, because we know that Donald Trump, has been focused so much on this issue of the indictment. But in general elections, there are other issues, kitchen table issues at play, healthcare, the economy, rising crime, situation at the southern border. And, whatever you think of Joe Biden's stances on those issues, Joe Biden will be able to easily focus on those issues than Donald Trump will. If he's been indicted, this could be a distraction in the general election. And it's business as usual today for Joe Biden. The White House is not commenting, and Joe Biden and the First Lady are flying to the U.S. state of Mississippi to survey damage from those deadly tornadoes from earlier this week.
Meanwhile, Julie, to other developments this week, what has been the response from the White House to Russia's detainment of American journalist Evan Gershkovich?
Right. So I think the White House has said that this is, outrageous and clearly politically motivated by Russia. And the State Department has put out a warning saying if you are a U.S. citizen traveling to or traveling inside Russia, do not go to Russia or get out of Russia. So it's, further escalating tensions between two countries. It's a U.S. journalist, an American citizen. So that's something that's going to have the White House on very high alert right now. The White House has already, is fresh off of dealing with the prisoner exchange with WNBA player Brittany Griner. And now there's another potential case on their hands. Now, we don't know how long the U.S. journalist is going to be detained in Russia, but it's certainly a cause for concern.
What do we know about the journalist and how he came to be arrested?
From what we know, I think, he was essentially doing his job, really reporting in Russia. And, Russia would argue that he was sort of doing this, violating their laws and, acting inappropriately and such. But from what we know here in the United States, he was simply doing his job, reporting in Russia. And we know that clearly when foreign journalists or even Russian journalists are very heavily surveilled in Russia. So this doesn't necessarily come as a major surprise.
Julia Manchester, great to get your updates. Thank you so much for your analysis too.
Thank you.